What's up everyone, Tim here from Everyday Tactical Vids. Today we're talking about this, which is the Bravo 4 from Wolfe Cutlery. Let's talk a little bit about the designer and maker of this knife, and then we'll give you the specs, and then we'll jump right into use. So Wolfe Cutlery, Wolfe Wolfe Cutlery. You can find him on Facebook. He's also got a website that's coming on board very soon. He was a ranger, he was a sniper instructor, and a lot of background in the outdoors, hunting, etc. And when he was serving in the military as a sniper, he was having the experience of knives that just kept breaking on him. And then so people said, well, you know, you're using your knife too aggressively. Why don't you bring a pry bar? Why don't you bring a small knife? Why don't you bring a big knife? And his response was, look, I weigh 220 pounds without my gear on me. I'm up over 300 pounds when I put all my gear on. I don't need multiple tools in addition to everything I already have. And so he wanted a knife that could pry, slice, chop, cut, do the whole 9 yards, and really stand up to aggressive use. He couldn't find it, and so he said, I'm gonna make one. So that's where the Bravo 4 came from, originally for him and fellow snipers. And then a lot of people saw it, tested it out, and said, hey, I want one of those for me for camping, you know, other uses, being out in the outdoors. And so that's when he actually started to, really roll out more knives that he was custom making on a regular basis. So that's the background on the Bravo 4. Let me give you some of the specs and the details here. So we've got about 10 inches from end to end, a little bit less than 10, 5 inches for blade, about 4.75 for the handle. We've got CPM 3V or S35VN are your two options for your steel. High saber grind, G10 for this handle. It's black and green with the black liners on the back there. He does do micarta as well. He also does stabilized wood. Lots of options when you get your knife designed. So you got to contact him and say pretty much everything that you want. We're looking at about a 1/4 inch thick there, and then tapers down a little bit. Does have a lanyard hole, which I'll talk about a little bit more in the future. You can also see that the handle tapers. It's actually thicker here and then gets thinner. The reason he did that is that's kind of how your hand actually forms. When you hold something, you need a little bit more space up here and then a little bit less space when you get toward the back of your hand. So that's why he actually designed it that way. Obviously a full tang knife, and yeah, I mean, this thing is definitely, in my opinion, this knife would absolutely qualify as a survival knife. Bushcraft knife, yes, you could use it for that. Camping knife, certainly. But this thing is just big, hefty, strong, ready for aggressive use. I've used it already. You're gonna see more use today on camera. This thing takes a licking and keeps on ticking. So let's jump into actually showing you what it looks like in use now. Here's a look at some of the chopping work from the Bravo 4. Here's a look at the tip after those stabbing and prying tests. Got a little wood on it, but certainly no bends, no chips, no nothing. We'll do a little feather sticking here to see how it does some of that more precision work and also how the handle feels. This is also after the chopping and the tip tests. So there's some of the feathers I got off this piece of pine. Certainly it's going to do the job quite well. And there's using the spine to get some scrapings. Let's see if we can get a fire started with the ferro rod and a 90-degree spine here on the Bravo 4. All right, this is definitely a large piece of wood to baton through, but we're gonna go for it anyhow. And my baton broke. That's not a problem. After that batoning, here's a look at the blade. No dings, no nothing. Looks really good. Just a little more work I did with the Bravo 4. So just processing down some small wood if I was going to get a fire started. That was easy to do. You could see some more feather sticks there. And then here you could see a tent stake I made. Definitely wouldn't want to get stabbed with that thing. So yeah, did a lot of the that big, more aggressive chopping and batoning work, and then also the smaller work as well. And here's a look at the tent peg up close. Let's talk about sheaths for your Bravo 4. This is from Country Prepper. CountryPrepper.com is his website. I've worked with him on this project, and we've got another one for the IMHO, which is another knife from J. Wolfe Cutlery that he's made a couple sheaths for me. So if you want Kydex and you're getting a B4, definitely go to Country Prepper. I like his stuff quite a bit. So nice thumb ramp there, easy to get out, and also it locks in. That's one of the things he talks about, how his your knives will lock in and really click in. Listen to this. So that's good solid retention. You can see we've got the fire steel carrier right there. We also have kind of an inlay there, so you can wrap some cordage around, which he included for me on my sheath. On the back, we've got a little carrying section, and you can put, you know, if you want a huge one, you could put an Altoids one or a mini Altoids tin in there. This is actually about the size, it is the size of live fire, and then in it I put some fire starter from Fat Rope Stick. So that's basically another, you know, thing I've included in my little kit here. So with the knife now, I've got a way to start fire, I've got my fire starter, I've got some cordage, I've got the knife, all in this one system from Country Prepper. Tons of different color options, all kinds of different setups, danglers, thicknesses of the leather that you want to use. So just, yeah, definitely check him out, countryprepper.com. He's got a YouTube channel, and he's also on Facebook and other social media as well. So that's the Kydex version of the sheath for this. Now let me show you the leather version. This is the leather sheath for the B4, and this is made from Lone Elk Leatherworks. Very simple, very sleek, kind of a classic design. Nice solid snap there. I mean, you can see, look at the way this thing is attached. It's nicely made. Nice welt there. So you're not gonna slice your sheath easy to take the sheath out or take the knife out of the sheath. You want to be careful, obviously, to push that little snap back out of the way. This thing is basically brand new. You know, I just got it not too long ago. So as this gets a little bit more loose, it'll flop out of the way a little bit more easily. But excellent retention. There's your loop. And yeah, if you want kind of a classic look to carrying your Bravo 4, Lone Elk Leatherworks is definitely one to check out. The best place to find Lone Elk Leatherworks is on Facebook. Just look them up, Lone Elk Leatherworks. And he does beautiful work, not just knife sheaths. He's done some other things. I saw a pouch he made recently, just really beautiful. So if you want to carry this knife or you're looking for other, you know, leather products, I would definitely encourage you to check him out. This is my only product I've actually seen from him, but I may partner with him in the future, see if he's interested in promoting some of his gear on the channel here. Just really nice, sleek, simple, classic look from Lone Elk Leatherworks. Again, check him out on Facebook, Lone Elk Leatherworks. So I got to keep it real with you guys and tell you the pluses and the minuses of any knife. Really, the one minus I've seen so far is the lanyard hole, and it fits paracord just fine, but it's a little bit sharp on the edges there, such that when I had my hand through the paracord and I was chopping, it was moving the paracord back and forth, and it started to fray a little bit. Now I just took it off at the end because I didn't want it on, but that's something that I'm sure when I pass that on to Mr. Wolfe, he will round those out, so they're going to be great. So that shouldn't be an issue in the future. But just want to mention that was a little bit of an issue for me as far as fraying my my lanyard that I had on the knife earlier on. All right, let's wrap up here with some final thoughts on the Bravo 4. Once again, survival knife, survival knife, survival knife. Can you use it as a bushcraft knife? You can. As a camping knife? You can. As a kitchen knife even? You could. But this thing is just really stout. That's the best word I would use for it. I've chopped with it, I've sliced with it, I pried with it. You could dig with it. He actually mentioned that to me when we first talked, that he was looking for a knife he could even dig with when he was serving overseas in the military. I wouldn't want to dig with it because it's just so nice. I'm actually a little bit bummed that it's so scratched up now, but hey, you got to use the knife. That's what it's for. All that said, it's going to be an investment of money, but it's a really solid knife. And again, the reason I say survival knife is because of its heft and its strength and its ability to be used in a variety of different ways. I wouldn't want to sit around and whittle with this all day long, but you could use it to do some carving and some of the smaller tasks as well as those larger tasks, as you saw. I've used a lot of different survival knives, fixed blades, outdoor knives over the years, and I was going to originally say this is going to be in the top 10 list, but having thought about it a little bit more before I shot this portion of the video, it's in the top 5 easy. So just a great overall knife, great steel, great design. Your major downside is that it's going to cost you a little bit more and take a little bit longer to get to you because it's a custom knife. But on the positive side, I think you're going to be really happy with this knife. So yeah, just really liking the Bravo 4 a lot. Lots of different grips, lots of different ways to hold it and handle it. Add in a leather sheath from Lone Elk Leatherworks or a Kydex sheath from Country Prepper, and I think you've got a system that's going to last you quite a long time. This is the type of knife, and with a sheath like that, you could, this is something you could pass on to the next generation and the generation after that. The major downside is that you got to invest some money, and it's going to take a little bit of time to get to you because it is a custom knife. But that is, if those are the downsides, consider the upsides, and I would definitely encourage you to check out what we have here in the Bravo 4.